Thanks for coming back to the conversation. We are diving into the life of sports and entertainment moms with three magnificent mothers who help their kids excel in sports and entertainment. Back now with Twanna Harris. She created the organization League of Industry Moms after her own experiences as a mother of very talented athletes. And joining the conversation is Tisha DeShields. She was a collegiate track star and academic All-American, all the things. And get this, 3 out of her 5 children play professional sports. And Danielle Jackson is here too. She's a mother of 3 boys and built her own management company after years of managing her son. I mean, the moms of the all-stars get all the props. It is so cool to have all 3 of you here. All right, so first, tell us who your kids are, what they do.
Oh boy, I have a clan.
You sure do.
So I have 4 biological children, and I have a bonus daughter, and they all play sports and play sports at the highest level. The 3 older children plays professional sports. I've got 2 in the WNBA.
Wow.
One plays for Connecticut Sun, and the other plays for the LA Sparks. And then I have a son who's in baseball professionally. Yes.
Wow. Here's the clan. Here's the squad.
The squad.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yes.
That's impressive.
And then the baby girl just competed in the NCAA tournament for Division I basketball team, Mississippi State.
Nice.
Yes.
Impressive.
Yes.
Oh, you've been running your whole life too.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love it. I love it. And tell me about your son, Miles Truitt.
Yeah, so Miles Truitt is my oldest, the oldest of 3. He has, you've probably seen him on, he was young Ronnie DeVoe in the New Edition story.
Yes,
that was
we
his
loved
start.
him there, yes.
He's had his own feature film with Michael B. Jordan and Zoe Kravitz and Jack Rayner, but also on Stars Now, on BMF as B. Mickey. And I have 2 other precious gems that play basketball as well as in the TV film industry as well.
Yeah, so busy, and lots of lessons learned along the way. Let's talk about some of the experiences you've had, because you're both members of the organization, of Twanna's organization, right? So tell me because I have to imagine parents have lots of questions for you. What kind of conversations do you find yourself having based on some of the experiences that you've had, especially managing multiples, so to speak?
Yes. Well, in my case, we had to emphasize with our children that nothing was going to be given to them. Because of who their dad is. You know, dad being a former Major League Baseball player. So a lot of people assume that because he has these children that they're going to get it handed to them. So we definitely had to make sure that our kids hustled on and off the field, off the court, and they
in
had
the classroom.
In the classroom, absolutely. Because again, dad did what he did, mom did what she did, me. But of course, they had to go out there and earn their own stripes.
Yeah.
So that was a big lesson that we had to, enforce very, very early into the children.
And was it similar with Twanna's situation where it's like, okay, it's clear these kids this is not just going to be Little League. Yes. We're going to be doing this, in every season of life? Absolutely.
Especially when the kids start to write their own contracts and sign their own contracts.
Oh, yeah.
So you knew they were all in.
Yeah.
And so as parents, we're like, whoa, this is serious.
Yeah.
They really see themselves as being professional athletes.
Absolutely. Danielle, I want to bring you into the conversation here because I know it's different in entertainment, but still the demands, the pressure. Talk about what that's like parenting as sort of the momager, but also the mom.
Well, yeah, it could be a very thin line. Sometimes you have to have that conversation as a mom, and then sometimes you have to have that conversation as a manager. But being able to keep that relationship open and keep it so that they know that they can come to you first is very, very important. Because if not, then we can send them out to the wolves, and the wolves aren't going to do anything but chew them up and spit them out.
Yeah, right. I always think about, Twanna, I want to bring you in here too, the scene in a very popular movie where we see Michael Jordan's mom explaining to a very large shoemaker, what we're not going to do is, sort of in modern terms, you're going to value my son as the commodity, but not as a product. Talk about how you have learned to help maintain the humanity of your child when the industry sees them as products.
Right. Well, first and foremost, as athletes, there's a short professional career.
Yeah.
So as parents, we have to make sure we're preparing them for after the game or after, so.
Because it is, you're right, it's going to be just a few years
It's
of their
a few
lives.
years, absolutely. And so just getting them mentally prepared as well as they, pursue their careers is to say, listen, let's work on your brand. Let's make sure we're networking when we're attending events, because at the end of the day, your network determines your net worth.
Right, right. How hard was it or challenging was it to learn just the negotiations of it? I mean, you're not attorneys, but you have to learn a whole lot very quickly. Talk to the moms and dads out there about how you learned, and then when you learned it's time to pull in some other help.
Well, for me, it takes a village. It really does take a team. And I managed Miles solely by myself.
That is amazing.
Up until he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And as a 19-year-old young man, it was different being managed by your mother.
Yeah.
So bringing in a team to say the same things that I'm saying, but
Yeah.
in a different way.
But in a different way.
Exactly.
Always. That never changes,
It never
right?
changes.
Twanna, for you, those lessons of learning when to pull in, when to pull back, but still knowing I'm still here at the table. Hello.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a exercise of like really being able to build that trust with your kid, but then also, to Danielle's point, bringing in the person to say the exact same thing, but he's an attorney and he also represents this particular, person. And so automatically that comes with another level of cachet for the kids.
Yeah.
That literally gives them a bit more trust. And that is a lot of what we tend to also fight. So we bring in trusted and vetted resources, but the same guy around the corner is going to say, hey, your mom loves you. She has your best interest, but she doesn't know this industry. Trust me.
Yeah.
And that's where the predatory and sometimes
you all nodding your head. Somebody said, "Oh, that's all your kids." Understood.
Sometimes exploitive forces kind of weave their way in.
Well, and so when do you learn, though, how challenging is it to pull back and let them, because they still are kids, but they still got to grow and figure this out?
I'd like to say something about that. Last year, I was on another speaking panel, and a woman said, and it was just so profound, our responsibility as a parent is to take them through the ABCs of life.
Yeah.
Right? The challenges at whatever age, probably much younger for Tish versus myself, but in their young 20s, they'll get something that basically says, you have to do this thing, right? So all of a sudden, you're asking them for J, and we haven't even covered A through J.
Good point.
And so you're giving them a ton of money, but they don't know what to do with it.
We're going to pause right there, because that ton of money part, that endorsement part, the conversation continues right after the break. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe, and go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.